Search for things that you must do in Tokyo, Japan, and I guarantee that this place will come up no matter where you're searching. And it's for good reason. You may have visited many museums, flower gardens, or even beautiful bodies of water, but I promise that you have never experienced anything as breathtaking as this place. Japan just does it better. In today's video, I am going to be talking about Teamlab Planets, a digital art museum located in Toyosu, Tokyo. I am going to be covering everything from how to get there, how to get tickets, to things that you should be aware of before going, or indeed deciding if you should even visit, because it is not for everybody. Yes, more on that later, as well as a walkthrough of the venue as I show you some of my personal favorite exhibits. And so if that sounds like something you'd be into, well then sit back, relax, and let's get straight into it. Starting with, what exactly is Teamlab Planets? Teamlab Planets is a digital art museum created by the art collective Teamlab. It is an immersive experience that truly challenges what you see, hear, and touch, with the aim of completely blurring the lines between each visitor and the artworks that are filled with water, flowers, realistic projections, and physical art. It is so good at doing this, in fact, that you will begin to question where you are and if what you're seeing is even real. The museum plays on three main elements: continuous movement, distinct colors, and constant change. Most, if not all, installations here show this, and it is what sets it apart from the other Teamlab installations in Japan. I had already watched quite a few videos on Teamlab Planets before I went, and one thing I picked up pretty early on was that I should get tickets before my trip to Japan, as it is a highly popular museum. Tickets for your desired date go on sale 2 months beforehand. Yes, you can choose to purchase them closer to the date or sometimes even on the day that you're going, but I strongly recommend that you look into purchasing it at your earliest convenience to avoid disappointments, especially if you're planning to purchase a few tickets. Whilst Teamlab Planets has been around for a while, it is getting increasingly in demand lately, as they have announced that this Toyosu location will close down permanently at the end of 2027. Tickets cost 4,200 yen, or around $27 for the general admission tickets. But guys, the queues going into the venue can be quite long, and so if you're looking to shave off the waiting time, I recommend considering the skip the queue tickets, which you can buy on the Klook website. They do cost more at $47, but the advantage is that you enter straight in with no waiting time. That's exactly what I did because I wanted to fit more things into my itinerary, and good news is I can actually get you 10% off your tickets for Teamlab Planets, be it general admission or skip the queue. Simply enter the code here on the screen. I've also placed it in my description box when booking via Klook, and thank me later. But since there are always queues to go in, I mean this was the queue on a Thursday at around 11 a.m, it is probably important for us to talk about the best time to go to Teamlab Planets. The museum opens from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m, with the last entry being 1 hour before closing time. And so if you're looking to avoid the crowds, either because you don't do well with crowds or you want to get some shots with less people in it, the best time to go would be at 9 a.m. to 10 p.m, and then from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. on a weekday. Those are generally the quietest times. Okay, so you've got your tickets. Let's now talk about how to get to the museum. The closest station to Teamlab Planets is the Shin Toyosu station, located on the Eureka Mome line. There are several options to get there depending on where you're traveling from, and as such I have left a Google pin of the exact location in my description box so that you can plan your trip accordingly. Here we go, I can see it already. Teamlab Planets. Let's go. In this next section, I'm just going to quickly tick off some of the things that you can expect at Teamlab Planets that you would not necessarily be told when booking your tickets. First off, you will be required to leave your bags in a locker before entering the exhibits, which is a standard for all Teamlab experiences. Fear not though, for the lockers are locked and you will walk right back into the locker room at the end of your visit so that you can easily collect your belongings. Something that is quite unique to Teamlab Planets though is that you will also be asked to take off your shoes and socks, as there are some spaces with water in the museum. And that is also why you will need to fold up your long pants or straight up change into the shorts that they provide at the venue. There are also mirrored floors at TeamLab Planets, so please don't wear skirts, but if you do happen to be wearing a skirt, please change into the shorts that they provide. Taking pictures and videos while you're at TeamLab Planets is obviously a must, so do not worry, you can bring in your phone and cameras, but just be really careful as there are a couple of spaces with water and also plenty of dark spaces. That being said, tripods, monopods, and selfie sticks are not allowed, which is a wise decision given the amount of foot traffic that the museum gets. The TeamLab Planet space spans across 10,000 square meters, comprising 4 large-scale artwork spaces and 2 gardens that collectively host 7 large-scale artworks. It would take you around 2 to 3 hours to experience the whole thing properly, so do also make sure you allocate enough time to do so. Alright, in this next section, I'm going to be showing you some of my highlights at TeamLab Planets, and so if you don't want any spoilers, feel free to skip ahead to the next chapter, but if you're still here in 3, 2, and 1, I assume you like spoilers, and so let's go. Let's start with this floating flower garden. I mean, I honestly could not believe my eyes that this could even be real. Not only were the flowers stunning to look at, you could also smell fragrant floral aromas in the space. The mirrored surroundings, including the floor, also made the whole space look like it went on infinitely. Suffice to say, I was completely blown away. Another one of my favorites here was the dance of koi pond, and I could go on and on and on about it, but it is perhaps better for you to just see. This next space in Planets though is so trippy. It's called the Falling Universe of Flowers, and you feel like you're in a globe with spinning walls of flowers. It is best experienced lying down, and much like the koi pond, I think this exhibit speaks for itself. I mean, if these alone don't convince you that TeamLab Planets is worth going to, I don't know what will. Having said all of this, I also wanted to talk about something that I don't think many people talk about, and that is that the TeamLab Planets experience may not be for everyone. Allow me to explain why. Hi, it's just me popping in real quick while I'm editing because I realized that I always forget to introduce myself. Hi, I'm Steve from the Fat Life Project. I am a food and travel channel dedicated to creating content just like this that helps you simplify the research for your trips to cities around the world. And so if that sounds like something you'd be into, I strongly recommend you smash the subscribe button so that we can go on more adventures just like this one together. Alright, with that out of the way, let's get back into it. And I strongly recommend you watch this section before booking your tickets for Planets. First off, Planets is quite interactive, especially when you compare it against Borderless, which is the other TeamLab experience in Tokyo. I mean, the first part of the tour literally requires for you to walk up an inclined river. When I went, I saw a woman carrying a little child who must have been under a year old as she was going up the waterfall, and couldn't help but feel a little sorry for her. And the waterfall is an essential part of the exhibition as well, as the water contains disinfectant to clean your feet as you are exploring the rest of the space barefoot. That also got me thinking, what if you were differently abled? Like for example, you had to walk with the help of a walking stick, or you were in a wheelchair. I mean, there's going to be a lot of areas you wouldn't be able to access, and if you fall into these categories, I personally wouldn't recommend Planets. But TeamLab Planets is not the only TeamLab experience in Tokyo. You also have the option of checking out TeamLab Borderless, which doesn't contain water and is also, in my opinion, a lot more suitable for babies, elderly folk, and differently abled people. And don't for a second think that the immersive experience at TeamLab Borderless is going to be less impressive because of this either. It is a whole other ballgame that is bound to blow your mind. I actually went to both recently and have done a video detailing the similarities and differences between the two venues, as well as a full tour of of the new TeamLab bottlers in Azabudai Hills, which just opened in February 2024. I have linked both of those videos at the end of this video so that you can go ahead and watch those next. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this video helpful and informative. It really does help at appeasing the YouTube algorithm gods, but it also does make my day as a content creator. Speaking of which, feel free to also leave me a comment because I love hearing from you. And if you got to this point of the video, I hope that you have a fantastic day ahead or that you've already had a good day. As always, I will see you very soon in the next video here, or here. Ciao!